Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Between the Benches on this beautiful Saturday, mid-round one, and we're just coming to you with a new set of games. That's what it is. This is the norm. There's not really anything I can just say that is any addition to any other thing I ever say to start the episode.
Besides, just let's get after it.
Yeah, let's just get after it, huh? So we're gonna start. We're gonna just roll on right on through. There's a set of Game 3's we also are covering today, just where we landed. So we got every Game 2 for you, and then Friday's Game 3's.
The first day of games.
Yeah.
Set.
So let's moving on. Let's get it going. We have to start the Florida and Boston series. If you see to your left, we have Game 2, Florida took 6-3. If you look to your right, Game 3, Boston took 4-2.
You know, before we even get into it, props to Florida for that graphic, because they actually had more than just the score. They had face-off percentage.
Yes, look at that. Props to Florida. That is a beautiful
hits. Graphic. That's a solid scoreboard post.
It's actually, honestly, a great graphic all the way around. I actually really like it top to bottom. It's kind of cool. Yeah, they've your shots, your face-off percentages, your hits.
You're down the series, but you're up in the scoreboard game.
The graphics department is winning. Boston's is all boring. Gets a point across, but I don't know. Florida though.
Original right. Six pride.
Original, yeah, that's fair. It's got to be basic. Okay, so Game 2. Let's start with Game 2. Florida took Game 2, and to be honest, deserved to take Game 2. They did a great job. Could not have asked for too much more out of Florida. To me, when I was watching, they had a lot of control over what they were doing. They were secure in what they were doing. They played their game, and they came out with a win.
100%.
Yeah.
They said flat out, we're not getting run over this series. We're going to come out and just do our best to take it to them. And get them really just to focus on getting them off their game.
Yeah.
Get under their skin, get angry. And you know what? New Jersey and Toronto, take notes.
Yeah.
Which, again, I wrote that and I got that ready before Toronto's game, which, they responded pretty well.
Fair. Very fair.
But at the time, it applied to both.
Mm-hmm. Still applies to the Devils.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
they are. We'll get to them, but
yeah.
They are.
In a little bit, not too far.
Up, you know what, creek without a paddle.
Resurgence of Sam Bennett for this game. He did not play Game 1. He played Game 2.
Big factor.
Gigantic. First goal of the game was him. And then other than that, he is a big factor of this team. And that showed clearly.
Well, it's not. It's also so then it's no longer just Kachuk being that guy.
Yes.
Now he's got a Robin.
Yep, 100%. Barkov was less silent than he was previously as well. He had a great play, didn't score, but he was more of a presence
again,
than
overall,
he was.
the team forced so many turnovers.
Yep.
And that is at least what he is good at.
Yes.
So it played into his style perfectly.
It's something they should have included in the graphics with the turnovers.
Yeah, because that was I don't know what the actual number is, and you never really have a...
No.
That number is never accurate.
I believe NHL credit it to 15 giveaways by Boston and 4 giveaways by Florida, I believe. Huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
What was the Florida number?
4. Boston was 15 giveaways.
Takeaway. Yeah. A difference by 10. You're not going to...
That's a big difference. That's
hard to overcome no matter how good you are.
Correct. Absolutely. And Florida played their game. They played their game. If you're in the playoffs, you're playing your game. Other than really some just poor reffing or give-in power plays kind of stuff. Other than that, I mean, that's your game to lose. You're going to win 9 times out of 10. If you're playing your game and you're in that much control, forcing turnovers,
imposing your will that much,
it makes a difference. That's all you need to do. So Florida, they reeled back what they had from Game 1. They did what they needed to do Game 2. Executed very well. Could not have asked for a better showing. and you get a win. That's it. Even against a great Boston team, if you're able to do that, that makes a huge difference. I mean, and they just never let off all game.
Well, I mean, Omar did not have a good game.
Correct.
Some of those goals you need to have, and I'm sure he would like them back. But it seemed like he couldn't read anything high that whole game. I think every goal was right under the bar. And I remember there was the one stop, couple big stops when he was able to like sprawl his big frame out low and cover the bottom of the net like old Jonathan Quick. But up high was wide open all game.
And all series, this includes Game 3, even though they did lose Game 3. All series, Florida has been much better in the face-off circle. Now, to transition us over to Game 3 a little bit here, one, Bergeron still hasn't played, hasn't traveled with the team yet, has not played in this playoffs yet. I don't know what his status is.
He's not playing Game 3 or 4 either.
Okay,
that's already ruled.
Krejci ended up not playing Game 3. So that's pretty substantial. So maybe that has something to do with Florida being so dominant in the face-off circle. Now they've lost 2 of these games despite that. But that was a little bit of a part of that Game 2 as well. But just a stat to throw out there is they have been much better in the face-off circle than Boston, which is a little bit surprising despite Boston's dominance.
Basically first-line center Pavel Zacha instead of Bergeron, Krejci.
Yeah, no, that's a huge difference. Nick Foligno ended up going into the game for his first playoff game this series and actually did a decent job in the faceoff circle. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're still a deep team, top to bottom, but Bergeron is a big factor to lose, and so is Krejci.
I mean, they have been a big part of the success for the last decade plus.
Oh, easily.
So without them, they've always struggled without Krejci alone. They've always struggled without Bergeron alone. Missing both of them was tough, and they won Game 3 somehow with it.
Yeah, and somehow you're right about that. Now, in my notes, okay, this is an interesting fact I'm about to give you.
Okay.
Game 2, Ekblad, large minutes, had a +3. Was out there for goals. On the ice for goals, right? What we expect, pretty much. Game 3, 13 minutes time on ice. I don't know if he got hurt or what. I haven't looked into it too much. But 13 minutes time on ice, -1. And just actually, no, it wasn't a -1. Sorry. It was a 0. So he just wasn't out there. They lose the game.
Now I wish I had my computer in front of me because I could figure that out, but I don't have it.
But either way, there's a factor here that I'm talking about. Ekblad is such a large part. If you watch these games, you notice him every time he's on the ice. He's a very big difference maker. I would say the largest difference maker for Florida. I think he always has been.
Has been, yes.
Yeah, and Game 2, out there for a considerable amount of minutes. Out there for goals.
Playing his number 1 defenseman role that he is.
Yeah, and then
I don't give that title out very loosely.
He's one of the few defensemen in this league that make such a difference on the ice. And
but traffic cone.
Yeah. Oh, he exited. There you go. Exited Game 3. Don't know his status currently.
That's rough.
That is rough. That's huge. As of 16 hours ago, Ekblad's status is unknown still, so that's pretty substantial.
That's kind of a death sentence, to be honest.
Yep. So that's rough. That's rough. Obviously, a huge factor in this, because that alone shows you that Ekblad makes a difference on this, and those are numbers. But if you watch the game, you can see it firsthand what a difference he makes on the ice. And this game was just lost straight up and down. Boston was the better team. Scored 4 goals before Florida even scored once. So it was a 4-0 game at one point. After 3 goals, which was in the third period, was the third goal after 3 goals, took Alex Lyon out, said that's enough. We rode that for too long. Had success game previous, but that was more on the team. And they put in Bobrovsky, so I got to only think Game 4, Sergei Bobrovsky. What does that mean, Jake?
You're asking me to predict a Sergei Bobrovsky performance. If I could predict a Sergei Bobrovsky performance, I'd be a millionaire.
Amen. That's a fact. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be playing the lottery and winning. Because that's even like if you could predict Sergei Bobrovsky and how he's going to do, you have like worse odds doing that versus the lottery.
But he could, right? He could be a big difference maker in this series.
He can be again. He either wins the Vezina Trophy or gets coaches fired.
Correct. This could go both ways. So I mean, I think it's the right move. I think it is the 100% the right move that you make. You put Bobrovsky in Game 4. Bobrovsky comes in, and
you kind of have to. Like
we see how this goes.
Alex Lyon had a heroic effort.
Yeah.
These 3 games plus going down the stretch. But if you really want a chance, you need to ride your big time goalies, and you have 2 of them. I guess something's going on with Knight.
Yeah,
I really didn't follow that down the stretch.
Not available.
It hasn't been for. Oh no, I know why. I remember why. There was a. Yeah.
Not available. Hope the best for him in the future. Want to see him succeed. But Bobrovsky's your dude, right? You only pay him $10 million a year or whatever. So he's got to play during this series. I mean, that's hands down. He's got to play, and here we are, 2 games down. Well, 1 game down, really, I guess. But yeah.
Well,
can't let 2 more.
It's back to even because Florida stole 1 on the road.
Correct.
Now and Boston answered right back. So
yep. We'll see how Game 4 goes. All right, let's move on. Now, here, it's perfect.
Great time. I like how you like. I have no idea which games are coming next. Like you just kind of set the order and like.
Yeah.
I basically blind react to all of them.
It's fact. Well, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Unfortunate on this. The Rangers did not provide us, the public people, with a solid win card thing. But I went to the Devils. I figured, you know what? They have good spirit. They put out a solid win card thing, despite being dominated so hard by the Rangers in the series. 5-1. The second 5-1 game in the series that they lose.
Not only are the players dominating, but the fans are dominating too.
The fans are dominating too. Yeah, it's over.
You know what,
man?
I kind of like that I've been right about that going in, knowing that was probably the matchup.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you guys do realize that there are not going to be any home games, and I was fought on that. That no, we'll show up for the playoffs. Like,
did not.
There's no way that you are outperforming Ranger fans when it's in their own backyard.
It's correct. And this season, the record shows the Devils have much more losses at home than they do on the road. They've been a better road team, and I think that goes to show that there is almost no, if anything, there's a home disadvantage.
Well, because there is no home ice advantage because your fans, even the game we went to,
aren't showing up.
Was not a full building on a.
And this is a full building. This is a full building, but it's full of Rangers fans as well.
It was embarrassingly blue.
It was embarrassingly blue, and third period, and I guess this happened Game 1. Jason informed me as well. Third period, there was an Igor chant, and it wasn't from Devils fans because he was bad. It was from Rangers fans because he was good, and it was loud. It was loud. I was listening. I was like, no. I was like, that cannot be what it is, man. That's it. That sealed it for me as far as this whole Rangers.
I know that happened to the Flyers in the regular season.
What's that?
That the Ranger fans. That's the first time I've ever seen a Philly building overrun by away fans.
Fair.
Ever.
Yeah.
But the Igor chant happened there too.
Okay.
But it was a regular season game when we've had a awful.
When fans are like, I don't even want to buy it. I'm not paying into this.
There's an active boycott of the team.
Yes, yeah, that's a fact. We have friends that are like that.
And yeah, you're looking at one.
Fact.
But this is a playoff game.
Yep.
You're the home ice advantage team, and it's game 2, and you're game 1 and 2, and you're overrun.
When the chants in your arena are overwhelmingly chants by the opposite fan base, and that's dominating the chants in your arena, man, that's it. That the Rangers are playing at home at that time. And now we go to the actual Madison Square Garden, a louder arena than Prudential Center, hands down. I just saw a thing about the Knicks about saying, oh, is Madison Square Garden maybe the loudest arena in basketball? Who knows? But substantial still. You know, they're going to be loud. The Rangers are here to play still. And the Devils have to answer back, man. That's it. Like, that is it.
I mean, we're talking about this.
It is over if they don't win this game tonight and don't answer back. Series is over for me. Series has maybe been over anyway, but
the reason why we're talking about like the fans is because nothing has changed between game 1 and game 2. It's just they are getting outplayed, outworked, and really just outhearted.
Yep.
Like the goal that tells everything was it was a tip. So or not, it didn't actually get tipped. Tarasenko from the point for Trocheck in front. I couldn't remember if he actually got it or not.
It was goal 1, I believe.
Goal
it was
1.
goal 1.
Yeah, it was Tarasenko shooting from the point.
Okay. I'm going to look up if it was goal 1.
3 guys to try and move one, and then they just forget about him.
Yep.
And they can't. How do you not?
Goal 1 for the Rangers, yes.
How do you have 3 defensemen can't move one guy who's not really
that big?
Like, yeah, he's not known
Trocheck
to be.
is not a big body.
Not
front.
a big net front body guy.
Correct.
Like, it'd be different if it's Kreider, who they're having enough problems with,
Absolutely.
and who also had another like net front goal in this game.
2.
Yeah.
2. Kreider has 4 goals in 2 games right now at this moment. Crazy.
Well, yeah, you should have known he was going to eat this series.
Adam Fox, I want to say, had a 4-assist game this series. I want to say he also had maybe 3 assists in the first game. I mean, you're getting absolutely, if you're the Rangers, dude, you're getting absolutely outplayed. I mean, sorry. If you're the Devils, you're getting absolutely outplayed. Devils fans should not be happy. Devils fans have been ranting and raving about, certain people on the Rangers. Capo scores a goal on them this game. I mean, it's ugly.
He's done more than Jack has, besides a penalty shot, which doesn't even count.
I don't count it. We're not counting.
That's
a give you goal.
It was a garbage time penalty shot.
Correct. Yeah. It was like I don't give the Rangers the empty net goal. It's just that was a 4-0 game. This was a 5-1 game, 100%. And it's just a lack of a playoff experience by the Devils. 100% lack of playoff experience, lack of physicality. They just don't have the bodies. They don't have the people. They don't have the physical presence. The Rangers are dominating in aspects of playoffs that you just can't compensate for.
And we kind of got a sneak peek of the lines for tonight.
Yeah.
What's sad is we're going to know one way or the other within the first 5 minutes of this game whether the Devils are going to get swept or not.
Well, okay.
With these line changes.
Correct.
Because if these don't work, they are screwed.
Yes. They're using lines from their, I think, most previous win against the Rangers. Now,
January 7th, was it?
I think something like that. Yes. Maybe not most previous win, but a prior win against the
I
Rangers
think it was
from
also
the regular
happened to
season.
be in Madison Square Garden, too, was the point.
Probably. Maybe that was it. Also, pre-Patrick Kane, pre-Vladimir Tarasenko. So,
Pre-Tyler
Panarin
Mott.
performing. What?
Can't forget about Tyler Mott.
I mean, hey, man. Everyone on that team is making a difference. No one on the Devils is making a difference right now. So, it just is what it is. You gotta perform. Maybe a goalie change, right?
There is a goalie change, 100%.
Okay.
Schmid, that's already been confirmed, I believe, that Schmid is starting.
You did all the things. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like, if you're going to change the tide, maybe now it could be the game. It has to be the game. You changed goalies, changed the lines around or whatever.
Again, you got to come out, and you got to come out swinging in the first 5 minutes.
Yes. And now the Devils did, I will say, this game 2, that they lost 5-1 again. The Devils had a great first period in my mind, in my eyes. But I was watching, I was like, okay, the Devils are doing the things that they need to do. They're a lot more aggressive. They look like they're faster. They look like they're doing, they actually, believe it or not, Jake, were 9-0 for the first 9 faceoffs in the game. Okay? They were doing the things, man.
Well, they always have a lot of good possession. That's kind of a calling card of the team.
But it died off. It died off quick, and then that was it. That was it. Second period, dud. Third period only lasted 15 minutes because the refs ejected 12 players.
Yeah, I don't want to get into
Game
that.
was way over, though. Game was way over. It did not matter. I mean, that could have had a garbage time goal maybe, but the game was over.
I think one of the more telling things is I don't remember who it was on the Kreider side of the net tip that only really went in because Vanchek got a part of it. But whomever, I think it was Marino, like his body language afterwards was so defeated. And yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure that's all of them. That's got to be all of them at this point. You just can't. You can't show it. You can't be that. You just got to come out. This is now granted. Since Thursday, now it's Saturday. Since Thursday, the players have had some good quotes. Some quotes where it's like, "We're ready. We lost the first 2 games of the season, and look how well we did." Stuff like that, right?
Oh, you mean when they said fire their coach who got into the playoffs?
Well, that was the fans. But I'm saying, like players' quotes, they obviously didn't feel that way at the time. But they just... The players, if they can reset mentally, if they can, new goalie in that, they got all the things to do the reset.
They look mentally broken.
Correct. They do. But, again, that's got to be behind them now. New arena, new goaltender.
Steal 2 and you're right back in it.
Correct. 100%. Even if you could steal 1 right now.
Nope, you got to get 2.
Yeah, probably, right.
Because, again, the old adage, you're not in trouble until you lose at home. Well, you lost twice at home, so you got to get 2 to get it back.
Also a better road team this season than away. I mean, we'll see.
We've seen series like that where there's the
100%.
wacky home and away splits.
100%.
What was it last year with Carolina and Boston, who they only won their home games?
Or only won their away games?
Whichever way it was.
Either way, yeah. Oh, it happens all the time. The West only won away games, so far in the playoffs, it seems like. But yeah, no, 100%. Actually, no. I think now the entire West split.
Yeah, no, I think almost all of them have gone.
1-1. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's move on from the Devils.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Oh, here we go.
I can see it. Actually, this one, I can see it.
You can't not, because it's the only teams that would be that color.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
There we go. Best series in the game right now.
Yeah, let him play.
Best series in the game right now. We have Game 2 between the Stars and the Wild. Dallas taking the game 7-3. Big win on the home. Yeah.
Home.
Big win at home for Dallas. That was needed after the Wild won Game 1. Then we move over to Minnesota, which was electric. Head coach Dean, by the way.
Dude guy
Dean said that, I think, is the loudest it's ever been. The fans showed up. The team more than showed up. 5-1.
And some beauties.
Oh, yes. All right, so let's start with Dallas. Let's start with the game in Dallas.
Well, I can explain that one in pretty easily. If you want me to just go.
You can go.
Well, besides that, there was some bad officiating in that game.
There was.
I'm not going to cry foul. Refs won a game. No, they're just over officiating this series a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
Both ways. In particular, I don't know if he actually worked Game 2 or not. But the young guy from Game 1.
I don't think he worked Game 2. I did not like him Game 1 though.
He was very clearly in Game 1.
Yes.
In over his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can really, besides the power play and the special teams that Dallas really has only scored at this series, Minnesota was not nearly good enough in the neutral zone. Their defense of the neutral zone and then their own blue line coming into the zone was just, frankly, subpar. Not playoff team caliber at all.
100%.
And,
No Ryan Hartman.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go into either about
No, personnel was not the difference.
No, I mean ripping Fleury.
Oh.
Because that's really the story of Game 2 is
Fleury
special teams,
let up 7 goals.
Special teams, not slowing them down whatsoever in the neutral zone
Yep.
or entering the zone.
Yeah.
And Fleury.
Yeah.
That's really the story of Game 2.
100%. Dallas did the right things. 100%. Rupe Hintz took the game over, by the way.
He can. Like, they have guys who have had those single heroic games.
Hat trick, too, I want to say.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I mean, third goal was garbage time, but in a lot of hat tricks, that's just how that goes. You know, it's not
the amount of empty net hat tricks I've seen is kind of nuts.
Yeah. Well, you get that guy the puck.
They count.
Yeah. But goal 1 and 2 for him were huge. And
shorty.
He took those over. Looked like Sam Steele from game 1, just the absolute opposite way. He took it all the way down the ice, right down the middle, scored 1-on-1 against Fleury. Nothing Fleury could do about that. Rupe had it. I mean, that guy took that game over a little bit, and just was what it was. Great response to losing Joe Pavelski. Tyler Seguin played decent.
More than decent, dude. He had a great game.
Dallas had a great game all the way around, and I mean that's what's going to happen.
Face-offs again.
Yeah, well, all 3 games they've still been dominant in the face-off circle. It just is what it is.
That's going to be it, regardless if like this series or if they go further.
Yeah.
Whoever they play, that fact alone is going to make them a problem.
I mean, game 2 and 3, pretty much game 3, all of game 3. Matt Boldy was at center for game 3, and that's just a personnel issue that happened. But Dean had him game 2 as a center as well. Wasn't awful. Wasn't 50% either in faceoffs. You know, it just was what it was. They're short on guys right now. But I mean, they can overcome that. They've shown they can overcome that. They've done it twice this series. Besides
the face-off aspect of him playing center, he's responsible enough to play center.
Correct.
Which he did at the development program.
Yep.
I know he was one of the guys who filled in for Hughes when Hughes was injured in his draft year.
Mm.
Him and Zegras were the guys who really took up the splitting time in that top role. But like the play in particular that stands out was on that goal, the Johansson goal from Game 3.
Yeah.
Winning puck battles, keeping the puck alive, gets the puck over. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, let's talk Game 3 then. Game 3, I mean, this was just Minnesota, man. They went home, they played like the home team, and they played so great. Brian Hartman back in the lineup. The first line complete again. First line, Zuccarello, Hartman, Kaprizov, complete Zuccarello. Phenomenal game. 2 goals, I guess it was the dagger. You know, Ryan Hartman, 3 points. I think he had a goal. I'm pretty positive he had goal 3. Either way, I mean, Ryan Hartman's a gigantic part of this team. Felt the loss of it Game 2.
The empty netter.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Zuccarello had goal 1 and then 3. And then, or 4, I don't know. And then Marcus Johansson, Jake just talked about the play. Matt Boldy wins a puck battle. Beautiful pass. Marcus Johansson just said, "Give me your lunch money." Absolutely decimated Colin Miller and scored just such a beautiful goal. Such a great placement on Ottinger. I'm not going to say Ottinger had a bad game, but he didn't have a good game, but it might not have fallen on him.
I think it was a lot of, star, no pun intended, star versus star power.
Yes.
A lot of, the Zuccarello goals were pretty goals.
Correct.
Like, he got beat on good goals. It's not like he let up, like, a weak one or...
And it happens. It's the playoffs, man. No one's perfect. All playoffs. You just don't do that. That just doesn't happen.
But I actually have a couple stats that are a little telling from Game 3.
What's that?
So, just to touch on the face-off one more time.
I got a stat. I'm going to say this real quick.
Okay.
2 giveaways the entire game. Credited. 2 credited giveaways the entire game by Minnesota.
Yeah, those can be weird, though.
Can be weird, but obviously lopsided, this game. Obviously made a difference. Obviously they were on their,
Dallas was 63% on the draws as a team.
Correct.
Which is dominant.
Dominant. I think the most dominant out of all the games this series.
The biggest factor, which is indicative too, success, at least for Minnesota. Dallas 0 for 2 on the power play.
Yeah. Correct.
That has been the problem of the series for them.
Yep.
Is even like game 1, the 2 power play goals they scored right off the face-off, clean wins back, and just no answer on the power. Really, they haven't had much of an answer at special teams this whole series up until game 3.
And then very unfortunate news as well. Joel Eriksson Ek was back this game, back in his second center role. Played one shift, kind of took a face-off, just circled out from that face-off, normal skating stuff, centers, and then immediately, in pain, limped to the bench and was out the rest of the game. So he only ended up playing, I don't know if his time on ice is out there, but it's probably less than 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it quickly.
And, I mean, that was that, man. That was that. And Matt Boldy, like I said, played center the rest of the game. Did not do so well in the face-off circle. Whatever. It happens. And then they only had 11 forwards for the rest of the game. Still dominant victory. Showed up. Did what they needed to do, and that was that. I mean, for losing such a reliable guy and going down to 11 forwards, couldn't ask for more of the Minnesota Wild that game.
Yeah, I have his time on ice.
What's that?
It's depressing. 19 seconds.
That's it, man. That sucks. That really sucks. Do not know what his status is, other than he was in pain, and the guys have said nothing but good things since, what was that, yesterday about him? Have said nothing. Foligno said that he's got Wolverine blood.
I love that locker room, by the way.
Locker room? But you can't. The locker room's so great, dude. Yeah. It's
the vibes, dude. The vibes
are immaculate. But either way, we'll see what that is going forward. It's unfortunate, and but they still rallied, and that's what mattered.
I mean, if they take the second game at home, they're sitting pretty, man.
Yep, it's a fact.
At home, yeah.
Now, it's a 1-1 split so far, so we'll see. Dallas would need to steal a game.
Oh, you were talking about the away-home
Sorry. Yeah, Dallas would need to steal a game for that to just be even,
Yeah, take the power back.
Yep. So let's move on. Move on to a series.
A result.
A great series so far.
Yeah.
A series that maybe we expected this just because this is how it goes. It seems to be, but we have the Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Tampa Bay Lightning 7-2 in a very big response game.
Well, can I just say before you go off?
What's that?
We've seen this before.
Oh, we?
Yes.
You know who else has seen it before? I'll continue. Go.
I don't know which Boston year. I think it was the year that they were actually like on paper, like very similar to Boston the second time.
Okay.
Boston comes out, smacks them. And then they answer back the second game, smack Boston. And they end up trading games in result. Got into game 7.
Yeah. And this is a series. This is a series that every person in the freaking world expects to go to 7. So this is just like a game that we all expect to see as well, I think.
Well, I think it just demands a game 7.
It just demands a game 7. I think, yeah. And you know who's not worried about this game? Our favorite person in the world, I guess. The most lopsided matchup in the playoffs. John Cooper is not worried about this. And I have something from John Cooper that we're going to watch in a second here. This is from our TikTok. You can follow our TikTok. Our @handle thing is BTBFTF. Easy. And this is what I put together and made from John Cooper post-game after a 7-2 loss.
John, you've used the term urgency a lot in that second half of the season when maybe sometimes your guys didn't have that urgency. Is there any concern about that some of that stuff that you saw in the second half may creep in? Or
Ed, it's a 7-game series. It's not a 1 game, one and done. We'll be all right.
John, I know you're not one to ever really replace your goalie at any point. Did you even consider it, though, after the second period there?
I did, and that was quickly shut down by the goalie. And so that's why he's the best in the world. He's not coming out. So how many centers deep are we? Let me ask you that.
Well, I'm just saying last game they
Give me points, Cirelli and Paul, all day against anybody in the league. It's a funny game. That's why we love this game.
John,
He is just chilling. He is just
So just chilling, man.
that's why we like him, because he just gives such subtle digs in every quote after every playoff game. What does he find a way somehow? He finds somehow to mock Keefe.
Yes. And it's
So
keep in mind, I said it, but keep in mind this is after a 7-2 very decisive loss in the playoffs. This is the way he handles himself, and this is
because he knows he's the king of message sending. He
Yeah.
is the king of it. And what does he make a point of saying after, for some reason, Keefe was non-committal about his only NHL goalie that he has on the roster?
yeah.
Like, Woll was okay in the season, but he was still a call-up.
Yep. Yeah.
They have one NHL goalie on the roster, and he was non-committal about him.
And Keith's answer to the who are you gonna start kind of thing, his answer had a question mark at the end of it. Like he said it like, too early to tell. Like it was not. And then
And-
John Cooper
Just like,
gave us that.
nah, that's my guy. He's the best.
Yeah.
We
That's
got-
right. He'll make that decision, and I already know what it's gonna be. Like
It's like, basically, why are you even asking me? Shouldn't even ask.
such a gigantic. This is the largest lopsided difference out of any two teams in the playoffs. John Cooper's the best coach there is right now in the league. I mean, hands down. Resume could be different. You know, maybe other guys are in the conversation, but as of current performance, John Cooper easily. I'll take him over everyone else. No one's look how much he stood by his team with the whole 3 centers he named. He says, "I'll take that any day against any team in the league." Dude, come on. And so calm. So cool.
He's almost like laughing, like, because he
That's-
knows
yeah.
in his head that game 3,
Yep.
they're just going to smash.
He knows this. He knows what he's doing in the series. He knows it's a series. You saw what he said to Ed, the reporter. He said, "Ed, listen, dude. Shut up. This is. I'm right. I got him right where I want him. Like this is. I
It's like-
expected this.
It's like, yeah, all right. You know, they could put 7 goals up. We could put 7 goals up.
It's only game 2.
I'm not worried.
Only game 2, Ed. And then I didn't even include this yet, but I was watching the game live. One of his players could have been marooned, could have been someone who gets penalized and does the things they want him to do, message sending. One of them sitting in the box, right, and the ref's like handling some stuff with the box and the penalty, and they cut to John Cooper, and he's just sitting there like smirking. It's like, dude, you're losing like 6-2.
You're like, because he knows.
You're now going on penalty kill again, and the dude is the coolest dude.
Because he knows why. He knows that the penalty
Okay.
was worthwhile in the end. The game was playing how it was playing, and it's like, okay. The Leafs have their, they're going to have their little party. They basically think they just won the Stanley Cup in their minds, and we're just going to be like, all right, we'll lay some hits.
Yeah.
We'll make you feel it. And game 3, get ready for that first opening 10 minutes because you're gonna feel it.
That's what we have to look forward to. This is such a so far
I will
from over series.
I will be shocked if Tampa doesn't come out the start of game 3 just absolutely laying the wood.
Absolutely. John Cooper. It's just, dude. We've talked about John Cooper every time about this series because he's the largest factor of this Tampa Bay team and their success.
You know what the biggest
It is him.
sign of good coaching, and I honestly get it. I love watching Tampa games specifically for this reason.
What's that?
Watch the first shift after a goal in either direction in any Tampa game.
Yeah.
know which players always have the best shift? The Tampa players.
Yep.
Always have the dominating shift after a goal,
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah. Probably even after that 7th goal. I mean,
Like-
I'm sure.
That team wins because they are the best at answering and message sending.
Yeah. That's just John Cooper's a master class at playoffs. That's what he is. And this I mean, he just had a master class of what I just showed at post game. It's just everything falls into his lap because he knows what he's doing. He lets that happen and he knows exactly how he's going to respond.
He's got like 6 moves ahead in his head.
Exactly. That's it. So it's like we lost 7-2. I love this game. Hockey's amazing. Come on, man. You know other coaches out there are getting roasted by reporters and they're responding with too early to tell. I mean, that's it. You know, so it's that's where we're at this series. There's no other
I did like that. Like Toronto's response in that game, besides like the goal
Yes.
scoring, like they answered the right way.
Yeah. Maybe the best answer we've seen from them in a
Ever.
playoffs.
No,
right?
ever.
Ever. Period. Okay. I'll take it.
It's
100
the
years,
yeah,
but
ever.
Yeah.
And like the guys that did it too, like Tavares hat trick.
Yes, huge.
The guy that
Huge.
we're
Needed
told
that.
is washed up and
Yep.
we don't want you anymore. We got Austin. We don't need you.
Yep.
Well,
they
maybe
needed that.
maybe you do need the guy that basically has willed that awful Islanders team
Yep.
to the second round.
First goal of this game too, Mitch Marner, I believe.
Yeah, that was a good play too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Like,
going to have their
We talked about
nice
how
plays.
invisible. Yeah, but at least they, everything was done in the correct way for this Toronto
Honestly,
team.
that first Tavares goal was beautiful to me.
Yeah.
It was just a master class in the little things, which
Yeah.
is what he is.
Yeah.
He's the little thing king. Like he waits for Riley to get that edge while he drives the net in and then separates right at the right time to get that pass.
Yeah.
Masterclass.
Yep. Yeah, this
That
series
was-
is far from over.
That's
Period.
like if you like the ins and outs of hockey, study that goal because
Yeah.
that's a good one.
And I think we wrap it up with that. I mean, we know what we're watching. John Cooper knows what the heck he's doing. Toronto is making it an interesting series, as they should.
That's the best response they've ever had. Like that's
Yeah.
some encouraging signs that
Yeah.
maybe they might actually be different.
Maybe this may actually be.
Again, they have all the guys they need, and Keefe had a better coaching performance line wise.
Yeah.
He fixed all his dumb mistakes from game 1.
Yep.
So
So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Next series. Boom.
dude, they're not going away easy though.
No, they're not. Colorado over the Seattle Kraken, 3-2 in Game 2. Still so close of a series.
It took Colorado's best effort to get a 3-2 win.
It did. It 100% did. That is absolutely right what you just said. And dude, watching that game live, the Kraken have so much fight in them. Like, there's so much battle by that team.
It's the most
Every
prepared
line on that
Hackstall team I've ever seen in my life.
You want to know a fact about that team that I learned that impresses me? There is a 20-goal scorer from this year on every line. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, each have a 20-goal scorer on it.
On the Kraken?
On the Kraken.
Who?
Daniel Sprong, fourth line.
Oh, wait, but is 20 goals anymore? Like, I think it's like, I'm impressed,
Yes.
but like, we kind of do have to reframe what numbers mean now.
Fair, but still still loaded.
Yeah, it's
as
deep.
far as it's very deep. You have Matty B on first line, maybe Eberle.
Dude, yeah.
I just don't know it off the top of my head. Maybe Tolvanen maybe did it. I don't know. But
you
I
don't?
know that I can tell you for a fact that there's a 20-goal scorer on every line on that team. And that's wild. I mean, that's substantial.
Here, I'll pull it up. I'll find it for a second. But
Okay. And just, they had so much fight in them. Despite losing this game, They showed up the entire game, beginning to end, with speed. They looked like a faster team than Colorado so far in this series, which is impressive from anyone against Colorado. That's impressive. They haven't been killed by power plays. It's just been an overall good game.
Whatever you're ready, I got.
Yeah, what you got?
So McCann had 40.
McCann. Sorry. Yes.
And Eberle had 20 on the first line.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it says no stats for Beniers.
He had 20 plus. He had 26 or 27, 28, 29.
Second line, Jaden Schwartz with 21.
Boom.
Third line, Oliver Borkstrand with 20. Fourth line, Daniel Sprong with 21.
So they had like 6 20-goal scorers.
Yep, 6.
Wow. That's solid.
And
And that's not even counting Tolvanen.
Tolvanen had 18.
And his sample size is half the season. Not even like...
Well, it's season stats, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
Well,
but I'm
I know,
saying.
but-
Yeah. So, I mean...
Oh, you mean, okay, never mind. I thought you meant just with, like, the Kraken.
Yeah, well, he didn't really perform before that anyway, you know.
True.
There wasn't much going on. Then went to the Kraken, had a phenomenal stretch, continued...
You mean became the guy that he was before and everyone knew he had?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. The team is set. The team's playing very well against returning Stanley Cup or defending Stanley Cup champions, Colorado Avalanche, who have speed, and Kraken is matching and sometimes putting out more speed against them.
Well, because they're great in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
They have been.
Yeah. And there's certain things like, oh man, who was it? It was Tanev, right? Tanev took...
He's been a problem.
And he, in this game, purposefully, and I'm sure everyone on the Kraken is very happy about it, purposely took and sacrificed coincidental minors with Makar. That's what you want. That's what you need. That's what you're supposed to do.
The little things. They'll
Yeah.
take a third or fourth, depending on the time.
Yeah.
Third or fourth liner versus one of the best in the league. Yeah, you take that.
Hands down. You take that every day. And if they're doing stuff like that, they have a 20-goal scorer on every line. They're matching the speed. They're in this series, and I can...
It's the same thing as we didn't bring it up with Boston and Florida, but Nick Cousins and Tyler Bertuzzi. You're going to take that trade every time if you're Florida.
100%. Yeah. And hey, I am the only, and you guys might have been surprised, but I took Colorado. We all took Colorado. No one didn't take Colorado, but I took them in 7, and I think this could go to 7.
No, yeah.
There's a chance.
I'm gonna hedge a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did think that there was going to be just a parade to the box because that's what we've seen the last 3 years in every Colorado series.
100%.
And it has not been that way. They have not been getting ample power plays.
Eller this game, who I said Colorado fans might have been scrutinizing him a little too much. Eller this game hit the boards hard, went out. I don't think he's playing to continue. That's a decent loss as far as face-off circle, third line center kind of guy. I don't know what his status is, but he did leave the game mid-game, and it was kind of bad. I mean, it was during play, very slow to get up, like kind of tried to skate and was like, no, bench, like slowly to bench. So it was brutal. They lost him though. That's decent.
That's going to be rough because they have very little depth scoring going on at the moment.
Correct. And maybe he wasn't depth scoring, but he was at least depth. He was a good, reliable guy in depth, and he's been there.
Up until the very nice Nichushkin goal.
Yeah.
Like, they have not had much outside of McKinnon and Rantanen.
This was also Devin Tays' game, man.
Dude, great game.
Great game. Beautiful stretch pass to set up the...
Nichushkin goal. Well,
and then...
Yeah, it was like an
Yeah.
amazing bank pass to Rodriguez, who just gave another nice pass up.
Yeah. And then dagger in game. Game-winning goal. Devin Tays picked his spot, shot it, scored.
You know what I just thought?
Done.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Like, yeah, because he beat him clean, and it wasn't like he took an extra second to pick his spot.
Grubauer?
Grubauer.
Grubauer?
I didn't even think about that the first time until just now.
Yeah. It has not been a factor so far.
Well,
Not
that
really.
one I think you could because he waited and he found he made sure he got a spot.
That's it. Yeah, he had the time, picked his spot, knows Grubauer very well from last. Oh wait, no. Did he play with Grubauer for that long? Last year was not it. Year before that, he was traded to them, right?
Yes, I think they got traded in the offseason though.
Maybe.
I don't think
Either-
I don't believe he was a deadline guy. He played that whole year with Colorado.
Either way, I mean, still knows the guy well enough, you know. And yeah, I mean this is a great series. This is a great series. Teams are Seattle's rising to the occasion, and I think that's the biggest part about this series. Because we all know what Colorado looks like. What do you want me to tell you about Colorado? You know,
Besides that,
we have the sample size.
They are
of that.
really in deep with. They don't have the same line depth that they had last year.
Correct,
They really
yeah.
don't, and
Yeah.
it's showing that it takes amazing plays like that Nichushkin goal and a wide open look with Devin Tays to win a 3-2 game.
Correct. Yeah. So, all the props to Seattle. If they lose this year in this series, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's an accomplishment still for a team that
First
for a team
year in
that
the playoffs.
yeah, and swang 40 points from last season up to playoffs and played against Stanley Cup champions. That's solid. Let's move on. We move on to another series that has had 2 games played since. So far been a great series as well. I know we've had some comments on our stuff like, hey, we're enjoying this series a lot, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Absolutely.
Well, I am too.
Yeah, we all are. We
Because
see
this is like the ultimate game within the game.
yes,
This and the Tampa
100%.
Toronto
The
series,
most, yeah.
game within the game where you get to be kind of a nerd about it.
To our left is game 2. Oilers winning at home 4-2 against the LA Kings. And here's another little
Yeah, I was about to say another A+ graphic.
Another A+ graphic. Number 1, first playoff goal for Klim Kostin, who had a great goal, great game. 3 points by Leon. That's a definite stat of the game, worth talking about. And 917 save percentage for Stuart Skinner in his first playoff win. And then to our right, we have game 3, LA beating the Oilers in LA, 3-2 in overtime.
Yeah, with Klim Kostin.
Yes.
I made a big point after game 1 to say the third and fourth lines playing really well for Edmonton.
Yeah.
I believe Derek Ryan had a goal in that game, game as well.
Right from Leon. Yep.
Those guys, they're getting their opportunities. They are
Yeah.
creating. I know the first one is a little different because it's on a play created by Leon,
Still.
but
Finished. And honestly, didn't have much time or room to finish the goal. Finished it very well still. So rose to that play still.
but they've been very effective. They're having a great series.
Yes, 100%. So this game 2, again, Connor was kind of a non-factor for me in game 2. Again, we talked about it game 1
He was a non-factor in game 3.
as well. Yes.
I know you to 2. Okay.
Can't really say non-factor, but non-factor 5-on-5. Even strength non-factor. Yeah,
What do you talk about here?
Yeah.
Connor on the power play is
gonna score.
more dangerous than anybody.
Leon, first of all, this was his game. Game 2 was him, his line, 100% him, winning face-offs. The Derek Ryan goal was him. I think he either had 1 or 2 goals. We just saw it 3 points. So, Leon, this was his game. He took it over and he said, this is it. Win. And then that's kind of what happened. Again, though, Connor was a non-factor in that game all the way around. Also, Stuart Skinner, after game 1, this is something I heard from him, which I thought was very cool. He had lost that first game, Stuart Skinner. This is his debut playoff performance ever. And he said, I'm glad I lost. I'm glad I experienced a loss. Now I know what it's like to lose in the NHL playoffs. I needed that. I'm glad I know now. Goes out and gets a win next game. That's awesome. Good for him. I'm glad he's that kind of guy. You got to have that kind of guy. That's fantastic.
But we're not going to act like he's been that great.
No.
Like, I know he had a 9-17 in the game 2, but, like, game 1, your rebounds were an issue.
Yes. Game
3, your rebounds lost the game.
Yeah, and let's talk about game 3. So.
Well, before you do.
Yes.
I have something.
Perfect. Yeah, let's hear it.
Connor McDavid, at his best plus-minus this whole series, was a 0.
Yep, correct. Fact.
So even he scored 2 goals, -1.
So, yeah, that kind of brings me to one of my points in game 3, and that's why I'm saying in game 2, Connor was a non-factor. He was out there for the only even strength goal against in game 3. Yeah, he scored 2 power play goals, identical spots. It's all over the internet. Anytime he does anything, it's all over the internet. It's like watching Patrick Mahomes. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
And it does get, some of them do get a little bit of...
Yeah, it's like, all right, 32 other quarterbacks can make that throw as well. It's just he did it. But great goals.
He can do
Connor's
the crazy
insane.
things that nobody can do.
We know that. You know, he scored. He showed up a little bit on the power play. He had the time to do it. I get that. But only even strength goal in the game, and he was out there. It was against them. And so
you don't get a minus for any special teams.
No,
plus or minus.
Plus or minus. So he had a -1 that
the
game.
only even strength goal, the only consequential goal to that stat line, and he was out there again.
That's what I'm saying. So, as much as, it is cool that he scored those 2 goals on the power play, it's just even strength, man. Still a non-factor in this series. That playoff or that power play performance doesn't convince me Connor's in this series yet. Doesn't convince me that
Because he's not
where he needs to be in this series. Yeah, he's absolutely not. And now in this game 3, Leon didn't really show up. That didn't happen. And that's going to happen.
He was taken away.
What do you mean? Oh, not that he didn't show up, he was taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
LA
Yeah.
now has the advantage because they're at home.
Yes.
They were able to match effectively against Connor, less so against Leon.
Yep.
In games 1 and 2. But that's because you're on the road. It is harder to do that kind of stuff on the road.
Yeah.
At home, they can do whatever they want line match wise because they get last change.
Yeah, and
They can, if any stoppage, you want to throw Connor out there in the offensive zone, you are never going to get an offensive zone face-off against anybody that isn't Kopitar or Deneau.
and that's how it was for Leon too. Leon had a
You are never going to be out there against anybody besides these 2.
terrible face-off percentage for Leon. It was like 36%, just really not good for a guy that's taking face-offs all game. And they took him out of the game, and then all you have left now is like what? Connor McDavid, who's a non-factor on 5-on-5.
Well, I think
It's
they've
tough.
recognized that Connor's fighting it.
Yeah.
So they switched very quickly, or not quickly, but like later in the game 1, a lot of the big switch was they slowed down on defense,
Yep.
switched Kopitar onto McDavid, and put Deneau Gavrikov on Leon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's telling you that it's not just us saying that Connor's not playing well. The Kings think he's not playing well.
And they're doing the right things.
They're
They're
putting
doing
their
all the right
star
things.
checkers against the guy who's been a problem.
Yeah. 100%. I think that kind of wraps it up for us, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Move on to a game 2 by the Vegas Golden Knights winning 5-2 over Winnipeg. This is an elaborate, creative
This is a little
look.
much. This is a little much.
It's a little much, but everything Vegas is a little much. So it kind of fits, it's
Facts.
fitting. They do, though. They have shots, 39-33, power play. Only 1 power play scored, and it was by Winnipeg.
Is that
Face-off
is that
percentage.
73 hits? I guess because that's 164.
Inflated numbers, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely
There's
some
no way.
inflated. There's not a chance, right? Okay. Because 73 to 64 is just crazy.
Again, some buildings score weirdly, like
Yeah.
giveaways. The Devils never seem to have any giveaways when they play in Prudential Center. It's weird.
So, yeah, I mean, Vegas showed up. This was an even game, though, and Hallebuck, I don't know why I stopped myself at Connor. It's the first name. Because we just talked about Connor, and we didn't even say his last name once. Connor Hallebuck had save of the playoffs so far, right?
Yeah, how did he do that?
Yeah, just insane. Low against the post, saved it with his glove while falling over into
And
the
then,
net.
Pushes his hand out
Keep
of the
this
net.
out of the net. Yeah, it was fantastic. Great save by him. Still showing up in this series. Third period, not the best period, but
I think the
How much
Knights
you ask
just
for that
kind of
guy?
put their game in overdrive. And
they did. They did. And so it was a 2-2 game, and Chandler Stevenson stepped in on a face-off and said, now this game is mine. And just one, I think it's face-off percentage. Can you look that up? I'm pretty sure it had a decent face-off percentage. I wrote it down in my notes. I don't know if I wrote it in my notes to look at it or wrote it in my notes because it was substantial. But Chandler Stevenson, at that point in time, was like, I'm a part of this game now. And he won a face-off, scored a goal. Next goal, he was out there to pass to Mark Stone, scored a goal. Great for him. Now he's back in the game and playing, scoring. And then I believe he also scored the fifth goal. Either way, Chandler Stevenson kind of took over the second.
well, yeah, he
portion of this
had a goal and assist, 2 points.
There you go.
Face-off percentage, holy
What?
81%.
I told you. That's why I wrote it in my notes. Dude took over the game. Dude said, this game is ours. We win this game now. Scored a goal.
This is my win.
This is, boom.
I am the winner now.
Yeah. Scored a goal and an assist to Mark Stone to get his first of the playoffs. Place erupted. If you look everywhere about their wins, that is their win card I could get. ESPN's win card thing or whatever they make graphic for this was a GIF. It wasn't even like something I could put on a slideshow thing here. And the GIF was Mark Stone celebrating with the team, blah, blah, blah. And just everywhere you look, Mark Stone scoring this goal was amazing. And everyone loved it. And it was good for him. Chandler Stevenson, though, the direct assist. It was a good pass. Dude's been underrated in this league. Has had a large part of this team previously when they've made runs. Has played first line center effectively.
He's why they got rid of Stastny.
Yeah, he's played great, shown it now.
Well, besides they,
Well, and money.
have cap, and they just say, hey, toy we had 2 years ago, goodbye.
Yeah, let's get that guy. Let's trade that guy.
Name.
Let's name.
Must get name.
Yeah. So, but Chandler Stevenson, I'm sure he's not even getting paid that much. It's great for this team. And now took over this game, won this game, and it was big time. 81. What'd you say? 81%.
81.2%.
That's insane.
Stupid.
That is so stupid. It's not even funny.
Like 60% is impressive. Like if you're a center taking a ton of draws.
Yeah.
81 is like unheard of.
And their face-off percentage for this game was only 52%. So
How's it even possible?
with him,
How's that? Did everybody else lose every draw? It's like everyone would have gone like 20%.
yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know what was going on, but I know that guy was not part of that 52%. He was like above and beyond. Obviously, 81%. I just know watching the game. I was watching the game live, right? And I was like, wow, back and forth, Winnipeg.
Well,
Connor,
look at
you know.
me, yeah. Eichel, 33%.
Yep.
Nicholas Waugh, 36%. Barbashev's not a center.
Correct. That's one of those.
William Karlsson's not a center.
Well,
Michael Amadio, 100%.
that's not. Yeah.
That's like all the ones that are showing up.
I think Carlson may play center.
Well, he was 50%.
Well, there you go. But Chandler Stevenson deserves the credit. 100% deserves the credit. And like I said, I was watching the game, it was back and forth, and then I noticed a clear gear shift from Vegas out of nowhere. I noticed that Chandler Stevenson could not lose a face-off in the third period of this game. I noticed that he said, hey, this is mine, scored a goal, then said, take this stone, scored a goal, and effectively won the game right then and there. And then one of those goals, I know Connor Hellebuck was beat cleanly, you said.
Yeah.
I know we were watching, and so not the best third period by Hellebuck, but still, this is a series. But also, Vegas took this over. Vegas did take this over, which is kind of what we expected. And, yeah, I mean, that's it for me.
Well, also, side note, Jack Eichel, first playoff goal.
Correct.
That's worth,
Oh, 100%
Acknowledging.
worth acknowledging. Absolutely. I think that was goal one.
Yes.
I want to
Two?
say
One
that
or-
was
one
goal
or two?
one or two. Yeah, I would like to see the defensemen get in this game a little bit more.
2.
Goal two. I would like to see the defensemen of Vegas get in the game a little bit more. I feel like when I was watching it, I wasn't really noticing anything crazy from them. They're a great group of defensemen. Some guys that have a large part of offense if they can, and I really have not seen too much from them. I want to see more.
Well, that could just be that, like with LA, like their thing is their defensemen are not even going to come close to really entering the zone.
Yeah.
They're
yeah,
staying back for the counterattack.
Yeah.
So systems do dictate that sometimes.
100%. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
this game was very different. Like they made a point of saying they're going to get traffic in front of Hellebuck. They're going to get more.
Yes.
They're going to, send more shots his way.
100%.
Or at least they're not going to do the shooting style outside. It's like they're not going to let Winnipeg do what they did the first game, where they just said, "You're not shooting anything."
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're now just they're going for dirty goals.
Yeah.
The garbage goals, which is what wins in the playoffs.
Amen.
Look at the Rangers; they're murdering the Devils on garbage goals, on net front goals, on
Yep. Pretty much everything, actually, but
well, in front of the net, they are absolutely murdering the Devils.
yeah. Let's move on. Last game of the last series of the episode here. We move on to this series right here. We move on to the Carolina Hurricanes and the Islanders. Game 2 to your left. The Hurricanes moving up to a 2-0 series lead at that point.
Yeah, so I did
4-3
not
win.
get to watch the game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, we watched the highlights.
Yeah. Game
But-
3 was obviously to our right. Islanders answered back at home 5-1. This has been an all-home series so far.
Carolinas tend to be, though. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
They really do. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Doesn't make sense to me. Why it's like multiple years in a row now where they are dominant at home, can't win on the road.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, I didn't even look into that. I meant to look into that. This was a big deal. And even though they won the game, Rod Brindamore was very unhappy with it. So, Teravainen broke his hand during game 2.
Yes, I remember that.
I don't remember what happened. I don't know if it was on a slash.
I did not see it happen live.
Yes,
Or in
something
the game.
had to have happened. I just know there was a little bit of an outrage, despite them winning the game. Outrage, like
It's
this
because
cannot
like Svechnikov's out,
Yep.
Pacioretty's out,
happen. Yep,
now Teravainen's out.
yep,
Like they're running out of guys, which could be a big reason why they kind of got blown out. And well, they did get blown out in Game 3.
yeah,
And Teravainen is not like a guy who's only offensive. Like he's definitely there to shut down.
Oh, he's a great player too, and he's a playmaker sometimes, and makes great passes, can score, can play defense 100%. Yeah, watching these games and looking at the plus minuses and just trying to look at what the numbers tell and stuff, because I haven't.
Well, yeah, because there's.
I don't think either of us have caught too much of this series.
Well, I watched Game 1 and I watched nearly all, because again, it's one of those games where it starts and then another game starts right after it.
Yeah, I know.
So
and
I-
the other game is just a series that is closer and more. It's. I
True.
mean, no offense to the Islanders, but
It's so I guarantee I miss part of the second period every time.
yeah, yeah, that's yeah. But I will say I do think Carolina shows that they miss Svechnikov, Pacioretty. They miss parts of offense. I do think that shows a little bit from their production and just like from their
Well, yeah, we
Just-
said going in like because of that they struggle to score.
yeah, and I think that does show. I really do. I think that it has shown. Ranta has not had the best game in this game.
Well, yeah, he did not have a good game 3
Yeah, in game 3, yeah.
based on the goals that were let up.
Yeah, it's just the Islanders brought it better. They had the guys in front, and that's their big MO, is the Islanders always put bodies in front. They have the guys to do it, and tip-ins is huge for them.
Very similar to Kreider, like Anders
Yeah.
Lee in front of the net is another like almost sure thing. If you do not get him out of there, they're gonna score.
Yeah, there's half of these Islanders goals that we've seen so far have been tip-ins from the guy standing against the crease, you know? So that's their MO, and they're playing to it, and that definitely showed in Game 3 where they won. Game 3 is the outlier so far, obviously, because they won. Carolina was up. I thought this could have been maybe this could be possibly a sweep watch. Obviously, it's not anymore. But Islanders showed up. I mean, straight up and down. But, yeah, I mean, I just think it showed for Carolina not having the offense.
Yeah, it doesn't like again like with we said this is gonna be the series of who makes less mistakes.
Yeah, that's true.
Game 3, the mistakes were made by the goalie.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, that's not really what we were talking about.
And we did say goaltending leans towards the Islanders here.
Oh, absolutely. Like I would take Sorokin 9 times out of 7 over any of the goalies on Carolina.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
So-
maybe 7 out of 7 for Kochikov, but
And I know you mentioned it to me before, and it's true despite having the garbage time empty netter, that Mayfield has not had a good series.
oh, he's been brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. He has been brutal. He's been exposed. And I'm not even saying that it's just like, oh, he's playing terribly. It's like he's been caught on the bad end of
He's the
some
one
stuff.
making the mistakes that are getting cashed
Yeah,
in.
he's had a very unlucky. It's just been that time. Every player goes through
Like
some
even
stretches, but
that weird bounce goal.
yeah,
That was him deflecting it.
yep, yeah. He's just been caught on the wrong end of what seems like a lot this series.
He got taken advantage of fully game 1.
Yep,
Made bad mistakes in game 2.
yep. Maybe was okay
Again, I didn't
this
see
game.
I didn't see enough to make an opinion on game 3
I
because
mean, only one goal was scored against, so. But hopefully we see better from him. Hopefully that goes a little bit better. I mean that's pretty much it for the Islanders, Carolina, man. I feel like that, right?
yeah, it's
Don't got too much
I
going
kinda,
on
I
here.
kind of feel bad. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
I
mean,
didn't catch enough of that last game to speak enough on it.
from everything we saw, that's just what we had. And like I said, Carolina maybe not having the offensive firepower right now, just not doing it offensively, and the Islanders playing to their game.
We did say that there was going to be at least 2 Sorokin games.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's fair.
I did say there were going to be shutouts. 1 goal.
One goal. Come on.
Can you give it to
We
me?
can count it. Yeah. I mean, Igor basically had a shutout as well, but
He had the shutout.
Yeah.
The first game was a shutout.
yeah. So that was a 4-0 game, not 5-1. But either
Yeah,
way.
empty nets don't count.
And
Penalty shot. In
when it's already 5-0,
2 minutes left.
4-0, yeah.
No, it was
just-
less than 5 minutes left in the whole game, and they gave
Yeah.
a penalty shot.
It's a garbage time goal. You just
Yeah, that helped you.
give me just getting on there. Yeah, it was.
Is that his
was-
only point? That might be his only point still.
He played on the line with Halla, I think, so maybe he could have been a part of that. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean that does it for us, everyone. We showed the TikTok earlier with John Cooper. You can follow us on TikTok. We've gotten a lot of engagement on TikTok. Apparently, I'm doing a good job posting stuff on there.
Just one of these, you know. Just give yourself
Just,
a pat on the back. Nice.
People have liked
You
it.
know, don't hurt your shoulder with that. You know, patting yourself on the back.
People have liked the content, and we're trying to pump content out on all platforms. Instagram, everything's right there. If you look right now, look down there. Boom, Instagram is that first one. Twitter, TikTok, the same. BTB FTF is that's Between the Benches, presented by For the Fan, which is our network. And we will have coming up our NFL draft special, which will be best production we ever did years ago. We're going to do it again this year, and it's going to be 10 times better. It should be hilarious.
Some of the most clippable moments that we have ever put out.
Will has showed me some stuff.
Dude, they were too funny. It was like...
It was...
Doing it live, we knew we kind of struck gold on that one.
I got to show you the video Will made exposing me, and it's clips from the thing, and then basically receipt clips as well from game footage.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I got it's funny, and we're all gonna show it live. We're all also gonna show it on platforms you can follow. For the Fan on Twitter, I think it's For the Fan Network on TikTok. I know Will's gonna be posting stuff, but yeah, we will have more of those links and stuff on our
platforms
as well.
Yeah, we're to go specifically for that because this is the hockey side.
Yeah. So, everyone, thank you very much. Let's have a great playoffs. It's been phenomenal so far. Let's have some great Game 3's, Game 4's, and we
got some games to catch.
Yeah, let's freaking do it. All right, we'll see you guys later. Let's have some